WFRV TV Local 5 presents a special edition of Local 5 News at 6, a salute to veterans. This program is brought to you with limited commercial interruption by Georgia Pacific, making life simple necessities. Nicolay National Bank, real people, real conversations. Window World, simply the best for less. Mills Fleet Farm, serving America's heartland since 1955. And now, Tom Zalaski and Aaron Davison.
Fire 3 volleys upon command. Ready! Aim! Fire! Ready! Aim! Fire! Ready! Aim! Fire! Half left, face! Reset, arm!
That is a live look at the 21-gun salute and taps by an honor guard of the Vietnam Veterans of America at the Brown County Veterans Memorial.
It's a tribute to all those who have served or are serving in our nation's military, protecting our freedoms. Thank you for joining us and welcome to tonight's special edition of Local 5 News at 6.
Now tonight we dedicate our newscast to veterans past and present, those serving abroad as well as here at home.
All across the nation, people pause today to remember the sacrifice of veterans.
And in Appleton, special services commemorating the 25th anniversary of the Gulf War. And Local 5's Chris Schuler was there and joins us live now with that story. Chris?
Well, Tom and Aaron, on this special day, a service of remembrance to those who answered the call of duty in defense of our nation. On the steps of the old Outagamie County Courthouse, people gather, music plays. On this day, to remember heroes, current or former members of America's armed forces.
They serve because they know it is necessary for the greater good.
There are roughly 21 million living veterans in the U.S. 1.6 million are female. Heroes like Ann Taylor, who served in the Gulf War at the age of 19.
I'm proud to have served as they did, and proud to have served like so many other veterans here today.
For Taylor, this was her first appearance at a Veterans Day gathering, dealing with post-traumatic stress from her time in Iraq.
I kind of forced myself to get out there now in the public.
She was the day's keynote speaker, asking those in attendance to never forget.
Don't forget that we live in a free country because of the men and women that served in this country.
It was a day of healing not only for Taylor, but for this Marine from the Vietnam War era who appreciates the warm goodwill he never received.
When we came back, or during the Vietnam era, we didn't have that type of support.
A special day for this Air Force veteran, remembering faces of friends from the past.
I honor all those that I knew that didn't get back.
Today is a day of thankfulness, and the fact that we had so many people that served their country and now are back.
Brothers and sisters in arms gathered, remembering each other's service and sacrifice. Veterans of the military, deserving of honor, Veterans Day. And Tom and Aaron, this morning's ceremony was organized by the Fox Valley Veterans Council. Keeping it local, Chris Schuler, Local 5 News.
Chris, we thank you. Other news concerning our Veterans Day today. An area religious landmark is taking the opportunity to honor the efforts of local veterans and one local veteran's family. The Shrine of Our Lady of Good Help unveiled a statue this week.
It honors a World War II veteran who credits his family's faith for his safe return home. Local 5's Evan Krugel has a story of bravery and one family's dedication and how now it won't be forgotten.
Just north of Green Bay,
this is the infantry.
Dozens gathered to honor this man, Lieutenant Edwin Gerlikowski, known for his bravery in World War II.
He grew up in this area, and he often would come here to the Shrine of Our Lady of Good Help to pray for his family, his friends, to pray for peace in the world. But when it came time for him to enter World War II, he asked his mother to come here every Tuesday to pray for him while he was overseas.
But his mother could not drive, so his 12-year-old sister Ellie took the wheel.
Well, I could see over the steering wheel, apparently.
A trip they made, rain or shine.
She wanted to come.
It was that faith that Gerlikowski would later credit for his safe return home.
Oh, I think it did. It did, the prayers. And we lit a candle every week for him when we came out here. Was one of the large ones that lasted quite a while. And he was so thankful for that because he saw a lot over there.
Upon passing, Gerlikowski left a sum of money to the shrine. Today, they unveiled a statue in his honor, featuring St. Michael, the Archangel. Family and friends gathered to share stories, remembering a man known for his faith and courage.
Lord, hear our prayer.
Keeping it local in Champion.
I hope he's watching up there.
Evan Krugel.
He knows this is for him.
Local 5 News.
What a beautiful memorial. Thank you, Evan. Well, the Disabled American Veterans Organization is the longest-serving veterans advocacy and assistance group in the country.
And the DAV has been serving veterans since 1920, providing services that make their lives less stressful and easier to manage.
Local 5's Elsa Robbins shows us the difference it can make in the lives of the men and women who wore the uniform of our nation.
For Don Ridgely, it's just another day.
You can hang on the door if you need to.
It's a routine that happens 3 times a week for the past 14 months.
A lot of the people are regulars, so to speak. I do Wednesdays, and we've become friends.
The DAV, or Disabled American Veterans Organization, along with the VA clinic in Green Bay, provides many services to local veterans and their families.
I'd be in tough straits without the DAV.
Whether it's giving them rides to and from medical appointments like Don, or even getting homeless vets off the street.
Our biggest effort is the transportation program, which operates out of the clinic here.
It's a program where special relationships are created.
I felt a bond that's really hard to describe. It's a brotherhood.
Don has been going to dialysis appointments multiple times a week for over a year. But with a service like this, it makes his time spent at the clinic a bit more enjoyable.
Every service that I have asked for has been given to me without hesitation.
And to add, the services are provided free of charge.
There's tons of guys like Don, and he's special. They're all special.
The feeling, mutual.
These drivers are so important, and this van service is just beyond my being able to tell you how wonderful that is.
And though there are always more ways to help our local heroes, they're thankful that the DAV offers services like these.
Because I've got the tremors, they unlock the door for me.
Providing a legacy of service.
Thank you so much.
While restoring hope for the future. Keeping it local in Green Bay. Elsa Robbins, Local 5 News.
Elsa, thank you. And to donate to the DAV or to volunteer, look for this story on our website at wearegreenbay.com.
Well, Veterans Day often means paying tribute to family and friends who are thousands of miles away.
Still to come, we go live to Sasebo, Japan to talk with a sailor from northeast Wisconsin who's serving aboard the USS Green Bay.
And coming up in weather, we take a tour around the globe to show you some of the weather conditions and what's going on, and for some of the military installation and bases around the world as well. It's all ahead in your weather forecast.
You're watching Local 5 News with Tom Zalaski and Aaron Davison. And now, with Northeast Wisconsin's most accurate forecast, Chief Meteorologist Luke Zanfi.
And we continue the special edition of Local 5 News at 6. A salute to our veterans, and we're going to take a look at some of the weather conditions around the globe, at some of the military bases and installations around the world. And first off, we're going to take you off into Afghanistan. Now, I've got the local time on the banner, so it's kind of interesting to see how different the time is, of course, in some of these locations. In Kabul, it's 43 degrees right now and raining. Their weather should improve by Friday and Saturday. Next up, we take you into Baghdad, Iraq. A local time there at 3:10 in the morning. It's clear, 46, and of course, they're going to see a lot of sunshine and lower 70s. Into Germany we go. This is Ramstein Air Base, and right now it's 1:10 in the morning. Thursday in Ramstein, cloudy, a little cool, 52 degrees, and they're anticipating some gloomy weather here, it looks like, for Friday and Saturday with plenty of rain showers. Back across the Atlantic we go and into the Pacific, into Pearl Harbor. Wouldn't this be nice? Right now it's 2:10 in the afternoon for their Veterans Day in Pearl Harbor. 86 degrees and more of that beautiful weather is anticipated. Temperatures in the lower 80s. Could see some rain showers Friday and Saturday. Over to Japan we go, and into the Sasebo port, where that's the home port of the USS Green Bay. We're going to be going live to the USS Green Bay here shortly. Right now, it is 60 degrees and cloudy. It looks like it's going to be kind of a gloomy day. Now, keep in mind, it's only 9:11 in the morning on Thursday, so they're 15 hours ahead of us. And their Friday will be in the lower 70s as well as their Saturday. So it's kind of cool to take a tour around the globe, take a look at not only how different the time can be. They're well into Thursday already in Japan. Around here, we're still in the gloomy hours of our Wednesday evening. I wish I had better weather for the vets out there, although it was mild. We're going to see plenty of wind and rain. You see those winds are already starting to increase around northeast Wisconsin, between 10 and 20 miles per hour. The rain showers are here. Here's Storm Team 5 live radar. The rain showers will continue to move in. The main area of rain, the heavy batch of rain, now starting to work its way into northeastern Iowa, southwestern Wisconsin. Thunderstorms rumbling just off to our west, so some late season thunder and some heavy rain and a lot of wind. Now, there's even some snow on this backside of the system in western sections of, let's say, Iowa now, where they were dealing with severe weather earlier today. All of this is marching our direction. What do we get out of it? A lot of wind and a lot of rain and perhaps some thunder. So for tonight, the rain arrives. A few thunder showers are possible. It's going to be a windy evening and down to 46. A southeast wind at 10 to 25 miles per hour will actually back off a little bit while we're sleeping tonight and then ramp right back up for us tomorrow big time. Some morning showers, strong winds, crank up westerly at 20 to 35 miles per hour. Some gusts could touch 40 miles per hour in the afternoon and into tomorrow evening with a high near 50. That'll be early in the day and then falling. We could see some snowflakes whipping through the air on Friday, 42, no accumulation. Good news, though, by the weekend, sunshine returns in 50, mid-50s on Sunday. Another opportunity for some rain by late Monday and going into Tuesday. Much more in our forecast can be found on our Twitter page. All you need to do is follow us at WFRV Weather. We continue now with the special edition of Local 5 News at 6 with Tom and Aaron.
All right, Luke, we thank you, and we're going to stick with the weather portion of our show for a moment here. The National Weather Service is known for hiring military veterans.
Jordan Lamers has the story of one veteran at the Green Bay office whose service to our country started with a strong passion for storms.
I got interested in weather back in around 4th grade.
Meet Scott Kultice, an avid weather fanatic from a young age, with a driving passion for weather that led him through his life.
I got my own personal weather station, took my own personal obs, and I did that all the way through high school.
Stuck at a fork in the road to go to college or join the military, you can say his choice was in his blood.
The two branches that do weather are the Air Force and Navy, and my dad was in the Air Force, so I said, well, I'll just kind of follow his footsteps.
In August of '82, he reported to basic training, learned aviation forecasting, and got called off to Korea 3 years later.
I didn't know much about Korea, so I got the map out and see exactly where I was going. And I was not stationed with the Air Force, I was stationed with the Army. Every time the Army detachment jumped, the Air Force side had to jump to support them. So I was out in the field a lot.
Years later, his experience overseas helped him land a job at the Weather Service in Green Bay.
I crisscrossed the country, went overseas, met a lot of cool people, saw a lot of different aircraft. weather has been what I've loved to do, and I still enjoy it.
A life of weather forecasting, fueled by a driving passion to serve our nation. Keeping it local in Green Bay, Jordan Lamers, Local 5 News.
Thank you, Jordan. Still ahead, we introduce you to a local football coach who credits his success to his time in the Army.
And we are going to speak live to a local sailor who's deployed on the USS Green Bay. That is coming up next.
Welcome back. For many members of our military, serving our country means being stationed overseas, thousands of miles from friends and family.
And that is where we find the men and women of the USS Green Bay, a naval vessel that is based in Japan. First, a few details about the USS Green Bay. She's an amphibious transport ship designed to carry a battalion of 800 Marines to hotspots all over the globe. She is also the second naval vessel to be named the USS Green Bay.
We are joined now by Petty Officer Matthew Dorfler, a Manitowoc native who serves aboard the USS Green Bay. Well, it's technically Thursday there, but happy Veterans Day.
Thank you. Thank you.
Matthew, thank you for taking the time to join us so early in the morning, your time. What is your role on the USS Green Bay?
Well, I'm an engineman on board USS Green Bay, so I maintain the engines that we have on board and basically the engineering plant. So we have potable water units on board, air systems, and of course the main engines. So it's my job to make sure all that equipment is running so we can complete our mission.
Sounds like you have your hands full. What led you to a career with the U.S. Navy?
Well, originally my brother and our best friend growing up, they wanted to be rescue divers in the Navy. And I kind of wanted to follow their footsteps and join myself. And here I am today, so.
Now, Matthew, aboard your ship, aboard the Green Bay, there are lots of connections to Green Bay and to the Packers. Tell us about some of the stuff that's inside that ship.
Well, the most notable is on our flight deck. We have it named after Lambeau Field, and it's kind of the can't miss piece on board. Along with that, we have murals throughout the ship. It'll have significant events that happen in Green Bay, such as Children's Day. We also have street names of famous Packer players in the P-ways and whatnot. So we're always reminded of back home a little bit.
Well, we have a little bit of back home with us right now, a bit of a surprise for you right now.
I'm going to bring on a couple of folks who you might know. One's name is Craig and one is Yumi.
Hello, son.
These happen to be Matthew's parents.
You look good.
Yeah. Thank you. Thanks, Dad.
Are you eating enough?
Thank you.
Typical parent question. First question, are you eating enough? Right?
You know, I kind of figured I was expected to come up with that, so.
Matthew, we talked to your mom and dad before the interview got underway today when they were in this studio. When's the last time that you folks all saw each other in person?
That would have been almost a year from now.
Oh,
or a little over a year, actually. Yeah.
And when will the next time be?
That's a good question.
We're going to let you on a secret. Dad said that you like to kind of save up your leave time. Is it going to be for a mom and dad visit or for some fun?
You know, I might be coming home in December, but
is this something mom and dad do?
Well, we were kind of hoping, but operational security. He's got to keep everything on the down low.
A double surprise.
Yeah.
So how do you feel about Matthew serving in the Navy?
Well, he's doing very well. He's enjoying it. He's enjoying Japan. I've noticed a significant change in his demeanor, and it's very, very pleased that he's enjoying it so much. And
well, Craig,
we're proud.
And Yumi and Matthew, we thank you all three for making this an extra special day here at Local 5 on our Veterans Special. Thanks so much to all of you.
You're welcome.
Thank
Be
you.
safe, Matt.
Yeah, we love you.
I will, Dad. I love you guys.
They're going to keep talking, I think. Right, still to come. A group of former Packers who served in the military take some local veterans on the trip of a lifetime.
And as we head to break, a look at the Brown County Veterans Memorial.
Damn, they got me good.
And welcome back. There have always been strong ties between sports and the military.
But hearing the national anthem before every game has meant more to one area coach. Local 5 Sports' Ryan Rodig has the story.
These are the smartest guys on the team right here.
Ken Golomsky's been wearing green and yellow for a long time.
Way to square it up.
He's currently an assistant coach for the undefeated St. Norbert Green Knights.
Perfect practice. Here we go.
Before that, Golomsky spent 21 years as the head coach at Ashwaubenon High School, where his teams advanced to 5 state championship games and brought home 3 gold footballs.
It's not so much the trophies, it's the journey. It's always the journey. In the end, the older you get, you learn that.
After graduating from high school, Golomsky didn't know where his own journey would lead.
Then I finally was getting up to draft time, and I thought I'd enlist instead of get drafted.
Golomsky spent 3 years in the U.S. Army, where he finished with the rank of sergeant, and his duties ranged from transporting goods and people
Deliver.
to working at the base post office.
It taught me a perspective on what's important and what isn't. I had 2 tours in Vietnam, and I saw a few things, and I had a few experiences, and it allowed me to take a little different perspective when I came back on life. I think it matured me quite a bit.
Golomsky says there are certainly parallels between football and the military. Some are fitting, others are a bit more cliche for those who have actually served their country.
With the gridiron and the battlefield general, the long bomb and all that other nonsense. But you can use the matrix or the structure, if you will, of the military life. You have to have discipline. Go! Pretty good morale. Good. Sacrifice. Way to get under there. Team first. Here we go.
And while most associate Golomsky with green and yellow, it was representing the red, white, and blue that set him on his life's path of educating and coaching.
I was proud of my service, but I've never went out of my way to talk about it. Enjoyed my time there, and I felt good about it, and then I moved on with the next phase of my life.
Keeping it local in De Pere, Ryan Rodig.
There it is.
Local 5 Sports.
He is just a legend. All right, thank you, Ryan. Now, some veterans of the first Packers Super Bowl championship team were also military veterans.
And Local 5's Terry Kovarik shows us a tribute they took part in for some hometown heroes.
It wasn't the Super Bowl team picture for Zeke Bratkowski, Jim Grabowski, Donnie Anderson, and Phil Vandersea, but these Super Bowl I veterans were in awe of the guests of Old Glory Honor Flight 33.
The first word I thought about last night thinking about this was humility, because a lot of them have served overseas in battles, and here they are going back to the monuments, and I'm sure there's friends there that gave their lives for the country.
The Packers Super Bowl veterans joined 78 World War II and Korea War veterans on their tour of the monuments that honor service members. That's because they and some of their teammates are military veterans.
I was in Oshkosh, Grabowski was in Oshkosh, and Zeke was a pilot during the Berlin crisis.
Military service was a fact of life for young men during the Packers' glory years, a fact that the organization was conscious of for those in the reserves.
Lombardi told us, he said, well, if you get called up, you get called up. Which Zeke and Horning, I think, and Max McGee all got called up.
And that gives the Super Bowl I players, Korean and Vietnam War veterans, a common link other than a love of football.
There's some camaraderie there. We share some things of the past. I mean, they spent more time in active duty than we did, but, you know, I mean, we can relate to each other.
Keeping it local, Terry Kovarik, Local 5 News.
Well, we thank you, Terry. Well, the image of the weary veteran returning from the battlefield to work on the farm field has been ingrained in our consciousness for millennia.
And it continues to this day. We'll show you how local veterans are making their mark in the world of agriculture next. Welcome back. After their military service, many veterans continue to provide service to the country.
Ag reporter Mike Austin says some veterans have been able to do that through a career in agriculture.
Like many who served in Iraq, Tyler Buss was moved to enlist by the events of 9/11.
Sitting in the biology room, kind of twiddling my thumbs. We heard about it, watched it on the news that night, and I just believe that the amount of patriotism that came out of that local community really drove me to do it.
Tyler, who did multiple tours in Iraq and is still a reservist, feels his military experience has shaped who he is.
It really instills a drive into a guy to push yourself to the next level, to be better at what you're doing, to understand what the industry and what you're doing as part of the service.
Tyler said his time in the service also prepared him for a career in agriculture.
It made sense to me. I grew up on a small dairy farm, so the drive has always been there to be in agriculture, but at the time you don't really know what you want to be in. You know, you're 18, you're trying to find your way, so I went into the service.
Ann Schuler, a 21-year veteran in the U.S. Army, does feel that military training is a great foundation for an agricultural career.
Veterans tend to have really good organizational skills, good problem-solving skills, and they really have the ability and the desire to impact the outcome of the operation.
Schuler also told me there's a program called From Battlefields to Farm Fields, and its purpose is to help vets who want to transition into some type of agricultural career.
Across the country, you're going to find people who are actually opening up their farms to veterans, that are allowing them to come in and work with an option to purchase or just an option to work. But what it really does too is allows veterans to kind of go through a transition period, working on the land and being able to come to peace with some things and to transition a little bit easier.
Like Tyler has done, going from protecting our national security to providing our food security. Saluting all our vets, Mike Austin, Local 5 News.
Thank you, Mike. As we go, we leave you with a live look at the Brown County Memorial.
And our gratitude to veterans everywhere. Have a good night.
This has been a special edition of Local 5 News at 6, a salute to veterans. This program was brought to you with limited commercial interruption by Georgia Pacific, making life simple necessities. Nicolay National Bank, real people, real conversations. Window World, simply the best for less. Mills Fleet Farm, serving America's heartland since 1955.